Welcome to the Google Classroom of Sri Gokulam Guruvayur. Now we are going through the chapter Money and Banking. In previous classes, we have learned about money and also about commercial banks. Then the next topic is Central Bank. A central bank is an independent national authority that conducts monetary policy and regulates banks and also provides services including economic research. So let us discuss about this in detail. We will start with the definition of central bank. A central bank has been defined by various economists in different ways. Professor M.H.T. Cobb gives a very comprehensive definition of central bank as a central bank is a bank which constitutes the apex of the monetary and banking structure of its country and which perform as best as it can in the national economic interest. So, central bank is the apex or superior institution in the banking structure of the country. Because of it is the regulator of the banking system, manager of foreign exchange, regulator and supervisor of payment and settlement system. Then we moving to the next topic, functions of central bank. First one, bank of currency issue. The central bank enjoys the monopoly right of note issue. The note issued by the central bank are legal tender throughout the country. This is helpful to bring uniformity to the currency notes issued across the country, and it is easier to control credit and also stabilizing the internal and external value of home currency with respect to foreign currency. In India, RBI prints all currencies except 1 rupee note and coin. 1 rupee issued by the Finance Ministry of India. Second function, banker, agent and financial advisor to the government. As the banker to the government, the central bank of the country keeps the banking accounts by the government. As banker and agent to the government, the central bank makes and receives payment on behalf of the government on all monetary and economic transactions, and also advises the government on economic matters. Third function is banker to the banks. The central bank acts as a banker to the other banks. Commercial banks are required to keep a certain portion of their deposit with central bank, that is LRR. Then, if a commercial bank is in trouble, the central bank can render timely assistance out of these reserves. The central bank also acts as a central agency to protect the interest of depositors during the failure of a commercial bank. Then the fourth one, custodian of metallic and foreign exchange reserves. Central bank acts as a custodian of the nation's gold reserves and foreign exchange reserves or foreign currency, because it has to keep these as reserves against note issue and to meet international payments. It is thus required to regulate the inflow and outflow of gold. Then fifth one, it acts as a national clearing house. As bankers bank, the central bank acts as a clearing house for transfer and settlement of mutual claims of commercial banks. The central bank also provides the facility for transfer of money from one bank to another bank. Then sixth one, controller of credit. Central bank is the controller of credit system in India. In modern times, bank credit or bank loan has become the most important source of money in the country. As controller of credit, the central bank tried to influence and control the volume of bank credit in the country. So, shall we discuss about how central bank can control the money supply? or credit. How does the central bank control money supply or flow of credit in the economy? What is money supply? The total circulation of money in a economy. So how to control this by central bank? The central bank regulate and control the volume of credit by using quantitative and qualitative controls. All these measures are known as monetary policy. So, quantitative methods of credit control. First one, bank rate. Minimum rate at which the central bank of a country provides financial accommodation to commercial bank. In simply, it is the interest rate of borrowings of commercial bank from central bank. During the time of inflation, that is, money supply is very high. During that time, central bank increased the bank rate in order to reduce money supply in economy. How? If the central bank is increasing the bank rate, borrowings by the commercial bank become costly. Commercial bank will increase the interest rate on borrowings, interest rate on loans. So people are not ready to borrow money from commercial bank. It resulting in a reduction in investment. So money supply will or money circulation will reduce. But during the time of depression, that is money supply is very low in the economy. So during that time, central bank reduces the bank rate to expand credit creation and money supply. Then second one, open market operations. It refers to the direct purchase of assets like foreign exchange, gold, government security, etc. by the central bank. During the time of inflation, central bank will start selling all these assets in open market to curb the excess money supply in the economy. Public and bank purchase this. As a result, cash flows from the public and bank to the central bank along with this credit creation power of the bank declining, thereby reduction in the money supply in economy. Then during the depression time, central bank buys assets. So by this, central bank can reduce or increase money supply and reduce depression. Then next one, legal reserve ratio. We have already studied about legal reserve ratio, LRR. All commercial banks should maintain minimum reserves with the central bank or with themselves. The ratio of this reserve is known as LRR. RBI uses two different instruments in this regards. They are cash reserve ratio and statutory liquidity ratio. Under cash reserve ratio, all commercial banks are required to keep a certain portion of their deposit in cash with central bank. During inflation time, it may raise the CRR, and during depression, central bank may reduce CRR. Then statutory liquidity ratio, SLR. Under this, commercial banks are required to mandate a certain portion of their deposit with themselves. During inflation, central bank will raise the SLR, and during depression, central bank may reduce SLR. Then repo rate. It is the rate at which the central bank lend money to commercial bank for very short period or for few days. As like bank rate, during inflation, central bank increases the repo rate, and during depression, it may reduce. Then reverse repo rate. It is the rate at which commercial bank can deposit their surplus fund with the central bank. So it is the interest on the deposit by the commercial bank in central bank. During inflation, central bank will raise the reverse repo and reduce it in depression period in order to stabilize the money supply of country. Next one, quantitative credit control. These are also known as selective credit control. Qualitative controls are designed especially to curb excess flow of credit in selective area without affecting other type of credit. Then first one, margin requirement. It is the difference between current value of security and loan advanced. For example, suppose if you have given the collateral security to take loan from the bank, the value of that collateral security is 10 lakh. Then the bank give you loan at rupees 8 lakh. So the margin requirement is 20%. That is the market value of collateral security. So margin requirement is the difference between current value of security and loan advanced. If central bank wants to reduce the money supply, that is in inflation period, it will increase the marginal requirements and reduce the credit. Then during the depression period, central bank reduces margin requirements. Then next one, regulation of consumer credit. During inflationary condition, the central bank through its advisor may ask the commercial bank not to grant loans and advances to the consumer. During depression period, central bank may adopt liberal credit policies. The next one, credit rationing. This is fixing the restrictions on credit to specific categories of loan. Then the fourth one is moral suasion and direct action. Central bank pressurize the commercial bank to follow its direction on the flows of credit. Otherwise, central bank will take direct action on commercial bank. So, these are the qualitative and quantitative measures of credit control by the central bank.
I hope all you understood about central bank. Central bank is a superior authority of entire banking system in a country. In India, RBI is the central bank. You note that answers for the question functions of central bank and functions of RBI are same. Then you have done the previous test paper very well. Keep it up. You must attend the daily test paper and study the notes attached. See you in the next class with a new chapter. Then children, bye.